Oh, the time has come. Johnny Somali is on trial. He is in court, and it is glorious, and everything's going wrong for him. So, let's see what Legal Mindset's got to say about it. This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be real crazy.
Today we had the trial of Ramzi Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali in Seoul, South Korea, and we have some massive updates, news, results from that. Please, we have an entirely new charge,
He is going in this. Hype me up, man. Let's go.
including one that there may have been a huge screw up on. So I have an update even from my live stream, some information to correct and get out there that is brand new for this Fast Facts series, which is a streamlined summary, which I am putting out for all of my live streams. And
Yeah, that's what we need. We need a summary. I need it all summarized. I don't want to watch hours upon hours of content. I just want a quick 13-minute video. Let's go.
this is for the huge trial today in Seoul, South Korea. Of course, this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and I am dedicated to
And let me tell you, I'm judging hard.
ending news and streaming in Asia and all over the world, and following the Johnny Somali Ramzi Khalid Ismail trial from start to finish, from beginning to sentencing, until this guy is behind bars. So what do we have today? We had his hearing. We had May 16th, the trial here in Seoul. Once again, this was in room 406, the same courtroom which I attended last time. To jump right into it, there was a courtroom that was packed with members of the Somali conviction team. They were there beforehand. That is my team of people that I am helping out on this. Once again, I'm not
What a G. Legal Mindset is actually directly connected to this and is helping against Johnny Somali. What a G. What a hero.
lone wolf on this. I have a massive team of people thanks to the absolute disgust and hatred for Ramzi Khalid Ismail and what he's.
I don't think that's healthy to have like disgust and hatred for him. Definitely should get his comeuppance and get what he deserves, you know. But you shouldn't hate the guy. Like, really, what did he personally do to you that warrants hatred? Nothing. I don't think anything that anybody could do warrants hatred.
Stands for, and it was a packed courthouse today with the team and with fans of the channel. We had people that were not on the team. They were just fans of the channel. They just like my content. They heard about the courtroom.
This is just reality TV. Let's be honest here. I love it, but I mean, that is what it is.
From me, room 406, the Western District Courthouse. They were there. They showed up. They took notes. They helped out in the observations and outside. And there was also packed with Korean media. There was even more media than the first trial when I was there before. The lawyer was looking for Ramzi today. His case was supposed to start at 10:40. He was late.
Of course he was late. I'm pretty sure I called that. I'm pretty sure that I said he was going to be late for the next one too. But you know, the chances were high to get that one right.
He was 10 minutes late. The lawyer had no idea where he was. Him and Hank showed up late. Hank was extremely mad. So the court was packed. Hank sat down. He was trying to intimidate other people in the audience. He was trying to act tough, look around, scowl at people, curse under his breath. He was absolutely crashing out from the moment he stepped in until afterwards, actually, when he really had a meltdown and may have even engaged in some criminal activity.
You don't say. A guy like Hank? No.
As well. So he was there in the audience attending, and Ramzi had to come up to the stand to talk about his charges. Now, before today, we thought there were only going to be 6 charges. We thought there were 6 things, and we thought it was going to be, obviously today, talking about the second obstruction of business charge and the 2 deepfake counts, because he had already pled guilty during that first court case. He'd already pled guilty to 1 obstruction charge and 2 violation of the Minor Crimes Act. So he'd already dealt with these first 3 charges at the first hearing. And in fact, during this trial, he confirmed his pleas during the first hearing on these 3 things. So that's something that was indeed confirmed at this second trial. So he confirmed all of these things. And then my speculation was that this second obstruction was going to be for Lotte World, and then we're going to have Bong Bong and the Korean streamers being the deepfake counts. Well, we had some surprises. We had some curveballs. As I've said, this case, the Johnny Somali Ramsey Khalid Ismail case, has been crazy, and that's why I'm covering it play by play. And hopefully, if you like my play by play coverage,
everything about this has been crazy. Everything has been insane. At every step, there's not been a single boring detail.
You've subscribed to the channel and you've liked the video. It really helps out in the algorithm. But we had massive curveballs in the form of a brand new charge.
Whoa.
We had another obstruction count added, and it got really complicated. So here's what we had. We obviously had the existing three: the obstruction for throwing ramen, disrupting 7-Eleven, the rotting fish harassment, which was minor crimes number 1, disturbing the bus in the metro, that was minor crimes number 2. Those he was guilty of. But then we had the obstruction of business number 2, and actually the one that he clearly pled guilty to, which was one that was added months ago, was actually for playing loud music on a bus. And I've talked about this in Korea. In Korea, buses are very punctual. When a bus is even 1 minute late or 2 minutes late, it messes up the entire system. And that's one of the things I loved living in Korea, was the public transit is punctual. So he obstructed the transit by playing loud music, by creating a disruption for several minutes, holding that bus up. The bus driver had to yell at him, engage with him, and that was clear obstruction of business. That's textbook obstruction of business.
And like, yeah, when you mess up the entire structure of how everything's running that day, that is so much money, because you're gonna have to pay people overtime. A lot of people. There's so many people you're gonna have to pay overtime. More gasoline. You're gonna have a bunch of angry people. You might even get people that are like on the cusp of quitting, or who do quit because they just had enough when Johnny Somali held up the entire bus system. It happens.
Korea. So that was solidly done there. Then we had the deepfake counts, and those were exactly as I predicted. One of them was for the first one was for the Korean streamers kissing, the male streamers. So that's streamers like Dalgun, the one who punched him, the UDT SEAL. That's like a Navy SEAL, the Korean version, the underwater demolition team. There's a deep fake of him. There's a deep fake of J Company, Bang TV, Jungman, all the other Korean streamers, all of which I had one-on-one face-to-face interviews in Seoul, South Korea, with all of them. That one he pled not guilty to. So he did clearly plead not guilty to the first deep cake count, which was the Korean streamers. Once again,
he said deep cake. That is what this is for me. Deep cake.
Kissing is sexual, and there were also multiple deepfakes. So this will be the maximum punishment of 10.5 years. The second one is for Bong Bong. Now, there were multiple deepfakes created of Bong Bong as well, which puts it in the category of potential maximum punishment, 10.5 years. And he also pled not guilty for that as well. So you have two sets there for both Bong Bong and the Korean streamers. He clearly pled not guilty. Now, here's where the update, and this is completely new information, and I've had to put out several updates on this because there was counteracting information. This happened after the trial. So everything you heard during my trial stream, and this is now updated information. I initially labeled this as guilty because my translators in the courtroom said they heard him plead guilty. However, upon further reflection and asking around with other people and consulting, they said, for this third obstruction count, which, by the way, was Lotte World. And I called this out when this initially happened back in November of 2024. I said they had to shut down a ride at Lotte World. Remember, Johnny Somali was playing lewd messages around children, parents and children. He was playing messages about wanting sexual relations. He was playing those around children, and that caused them to, and noises that were sexual, etc., around children, and that caused them to have to shut down a ride. Shutting down a ride is classic obstruction of business, and therefore that was a shoe-in. It is one that he is 100% guilty of if they have to prove it in court. So,
if nothing else, he's probably gonna get that charge. Like, if all the rest of them drop, he's getting that one. Probably won't see the maximum.
That one was added as well. Now, what happened was we didn't know about this until today. Why didn't we know about this? Because the way it was bundled in the court record, they had bundled the deepfake together with the obstruction charge. So actually, they were bundled together, so we couldn't tell until today there was a new charge. We actually have a 7th charge now. We've gone from 1 charge back in December or November of 2024 to 7 charges. This is insane. Almost every single month.
Let's see, what is this? Well, let's do the math. Let's just drop those 30 days ones, so that's nothing. So you got 5, 10, 20 and a half. You got 31, 36 years. That's 36 years right there. That's crazy.
Month, every single time we are gaining new charges for him. At this rate, by August, we could see 10 plus charges against Johnny Somali.
That would be insane if we just had. What other charges could he get? What ones were we forgetting? Or what ones am I forgetting? Or legal mindset, you know? Like, oh, what situations did he get in where he's gonna get charged? I could think of a few, but I need a refresher on everything that he did. There's so much to go through.
That have accrued from his behavior over the past, months in Korea. Now, why is this one confusing? This one is confusing because it's kind of new. And Johnny thought, oh, it's new, so I pled not guilty. And Johnny was telling media, he was telling other media outlets and media sources that he pled not guilty to this. However, Korean media reported that he pled guilty. And the way that the lawyer said it, because the lawyer has an accent and sort of a stutter, he speaks in a very weird manner. You could call him like people say he sounds like a Korean Saul Goodman, right? Whether that's good or bad, I'll leave it up to you. But he has a Daegu accent, a kind of a more southern accent. So it's really hard to understand him sometimes. So initially, some people thought he pled not guilty, but others said, no, the way he said it was guilty. And according to Korean media at this point, he pled guilty. So now I put an asterisk by my chart. It's guilty -- So,
well, there you go. There's the first one that gets all mixed up, makes everything so messy. Hopefully this doesn't screw up the whole thing. I could see it happening, though. I could see this one screw up destroying the entire case.
So the standing assumption is he pled guilty to this, which, by the way, would make sense because then he's pled guilty to all of the obstruction counts. Johnny thinks this charge, obstruction, is a minor charge. He thinks it's a joke. He thinks people can't go to jail for it. Spoiler alert, they do.
Yeah, especially in Korea. I know a few people have gone to jail for obstruction of business.
It would make sense that this would be something he pled guilty for, even though he thinks he didn't. So we will see about that in the next trial. They usually give you a chance to confirm your plea. So they might give him a chance to confirm that. However, experts in Korean court, which I spoke to right after trial, have said that sometimes if your lawyer screws up and enters a plea and enters the incorrect plea, they make you stick with that. So even if Ramsey intended to plead not guilty on this new obstruction count, if his lawyer screwed up, he might be stuck with that. He might not be able to back out. So this is something that we're going to see, obviously.
Oh, it might even turn worse for him. Well, great. Now everything's even more messed up, and it's like a coin flip. Is it going to screw everything up and they're going to have to release him? Or is it going to screw everything up and it's going to make it worse for Johnny Somali? Oh boy, the suspense.
In the next trial. So we now have, in case you're not counting here, we have 36 years. 36 years.
Like 36 years from now, I'm gonna be an old man. I'll almost be 70 years old. That'd be crazy.
Now, that are on the table for potential maximum punishment. And to go about after the trial, we had some shenanigans, and I'm going to have this on a later live stream, so catch the Hanky Poo crash out. Hank raged outside the courtroom. He absolutely was crashing out, flipping out. He was cursing at people. He insulted their mothers. He told them to piss off. The Korean media was trying to talk to Johnny. He said, hey, Johnny's not taking any comments.
I think they're mad because they know they're losing, and like everybody hates them. And they're upset because like everything's crashing all around them. So they're crashing out. Man, I hate that phrase, crashing out. Everybody needs to stop using that, including me. I can't help it.
They were so frazzled and so out of state, they accidentally walked into the basement, which you can't go anywhere. You can't exit out of the basement. So they actually exited out of the basement. They tried to exit out of the basement. They weren't able to. So they had to go upstairs. Hank was telling Ramsey was actually reportedly, according to most of my sources, Ramsey was actually the calm one today, believe it or not. And he kept telling Hank not to crash out because Hank was clearly losing it. Probably because Hank now realizes he has to house Johnny for a long time. Let's talk about the next trial date.
Oh, man. Yeah, and he's broke. He's like, man, I'm going to have to go work at a factory or something. I'm going to have to get a job. And I've gotten myself into this situation. And Johnny Somali isn't allowed to work. So like, well, oh man, it's bad for him because he's going to have to foot the bill.
The next trial date is in August. Now, originally I had reported this as August 11th. It's actually August 13th at 4 p.m. Same location, Western District Courthouse, Mapo-gu, Seoul, South Korea, room 406. It is at 4 p.m. And that is going to be what they call a full day of testimony, which is essentially 4 to 5 hours of testimony from the victims of deepfakes. Yes, Korean courtrooms are open late. They're open to 8 or 9 p.m. Yes, this is a thing. So I know a lot of my U.S. people are shocked about this because the courthouses typically close at 5 or 6, like on the dot. Nope. Welcome to Korea, guys. 4 to 5 hours of testimony from witness of the deepfake. So we're talking about Dalgun. Once again, remember,
like, man, these Koreans, they don't fuck around in court. Gotta give them that. They keep going. They ain't taking no breaks. This has gone really, really quickly. In other places, you gotta wait like a year, maybe 2 years to go on trial. This dude's like running through trial. We might get something happening pretty soon.
Dalgun just had his penalties assessed for punching Somali. Those were actually paid off by generous donations from across the internet. So Dalgun,
including people like Donut Operator. So cool, man.
will probably be back. Bong Bong will be there. Probably people like Youngman, J Company, Bang TV. They all may called in as witnesses for direct and cross-examination. Of course, we will bring you that live on this channel. We'll be giving you a play-by-play with updates from inside the courtroom throughout the entire thing, so you guys can watch that and get updates as they go. It's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have a great time covering that on this channel. Guys, please make sure you stay tuned to this channel for accurate information. I know a lot of other channels have clipped my content and they clipped inaccurate content or content that was not updated. Please stay updated. I will have a stream later on tonight giving you more information on this. Until then, stay together, and I will catch you all later. Peace.
So I'm not done here. I've got some more videos to show you. There's been some more updates.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
So Johnny Somali tried to do some kind of weird stunt in the middle of court. What happened? What'd he do? This dude is insane. Like, why would you even try anything? It's so dumb. Like, he's trying to go away for life or something. Because he's looking at maximum 36 years. That's insane. You want to get the maximum, bro. They're going to give you the maximum if you keep crashing out. There's that phrase again.
Today was the trial of Ramsey Khalid Ismail, aka Johnny Somali, and his court stunt just completely failed, and him and his ally in Korea, Hank Yu, were completely exposed as buffoons and complete clowns.
Well, I don't know if they were exposed just now. I think that's been pretty apparent for a while.
For attempting to pretend that they showed up to court in a really unique outfit. We're going to talk about that and show that video today when they were completely exposed by the Korean people, who once again are standing up and rejecting Johnny Somali and exposing him at every single corner as a fraud and a buffoon, along with his ally Hank Yu, Han Jong-yu.
Good for the Koreans, man. Really standing up for what they believe in. Fuck this guy.
Who is absolutely the one who is helping Johnny and letting him stay with them, funding him, and really pushing him in Korea and allowing him to stay there. Hank is the only reason why he's there. So Today we had the trial, and a lot of crazy stuff happened at the trial.
I wonder what life's gonna be like going forward for Hank. Probably not too great. Pretty much all of South Korea knows him, and they hate him.
In fact, I did a live stream of the trial, which is up, and there's also a summary, a fast facts version, which you can watch, which gives an abbreviated version, which I would highly suggest you check out. But we had people on my team, my Somali conviction team, that were there, about half a dozen people. And they were observing and watching everything that happened with Johnny Somali and with Hank, who came along with Johnny to the trial today, this morning in Seoul, South Korea, about 10:50 a.m. Seoul, South Korea time. Today on Friday. Now, everything that happened at the trial was crazy enough. We had a new charge that came in. We had a not guilty plea for the deep fakes. We had Hank crashing out. We had the lawyer saying he has no proof of innocence on the counts in which Johnny has pled not guilty. So they have absolutely no proof that he's not guilty. All that stuff is crazy. All that stuff is insane. But the day wasn't done yet because Johnny Somali had promised a court stunt, a prank. And Johnny Somali always tries to pretend that he does things. He tries to pretend by talking tough, but then doesn't actually do things. And he tried to say, hey, I'm going to show up to court in a outrageous outfit. I'm going to show up to court and look ridiculous, and I don't care what the judge says because I'm Johnny Somali, I'm Ramsey, and I do whatever I want. I'm some big badass. Well, he didn't do that. He showed up in just a plain black shirt. He wasn't even wearing the MAGA hat.
Maybe he's realized what he's gotten himself into. Maybe some people have gotten into his ear and they're like, hey, bro, you might be going away for 40 years. And it might not matter that you plead not guilty because you're going to have to convince them of that.
Didn't put on that red hat until he got outside the courtroom. It was just for, outside the building, really. It was just for him to pretend, him to flex, and him to get those media shots of him in the hat. He actually didn't wear that in the courtroom, and because, once again, he is scared of the judge. He is indeed legitimately scared, I think, of contempt of court now, because he knows that's something he can be hit with, and it does carry severe penalties.
Maybe he hasn't been drinking as much recently, and his brain fog is starting to clear, and he's starting to realize, oh shit, I really got myself into some real deep shit now.
So one of the things is he said he was going to show up in a very specific outfit, and he didn't show up in that outfit. However, there are many Koreans that are paying attention to Johnny and Hank, and in fact, there are some that live in buildings right next to them. In fact, there are folks that live in the building right across from Johnny and Hank, right across from Hank's apartment, and they call.
I bet people are paying them for information about Johnny Somali. There's just so much to cover about these guys, and they're so well known. They get so many views for other people, like me, that there's no shot that people that live near them aren't getting paid for footage.
On candid camera after the trial hearing, Johnny Somali in a very peculiar outfit. I have posted this video on my X, and of course you're free to use that, whether you clip it from here or use it on my X account. But here is Johnny Somali, and I'm going to rewind this here, in a very specific outfit, and you can see Hank, Hanky Poo right there, filming him. Let's play this here.
What are they trying to fake footage and say that he showed up to court like that? Like, there's so many eyewitnesses that okay. I don't even know what to say about this.
So you can see that Hank there is the, you might call it, I guess some people call it the Instagram boyfriend. He's there doing the filming. And there was a little bit more of that. We got another 10 seconds here of this, once again, very unique outfit. I won't label that. I think it takes some inspiration from certain motifs.
Yeah, like Kanye West's newest single.
We'll give you the celebrity motif I think he's trying to go for here and the attention he's trying to get. But let's play 10 more seconds of this video here. So you can see he's got this outfit on, this cosplay. Hank is filming him. Now, he had said he was going to come to court, and the reason...
We've gotten to such an insane level that we actually got these people cosplaying anti-clan members. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
The reason why I think he filmed this against the wall is because his narrative was going to be, oh, I showed up to court in this, and oh, this is all fake news, and look at me, I'm some cool guy because I showed up to court in this outfit. When in fact, no, he just wore it on Hank's roof alone with only Hank there with him, standing and recording him, and checking out that outfit. I think he wanted to get some clout from that and some attention from that and try to have some counter narrative, but indeed he was completely exposed here as just doing it alone on a roof. And of course, I think the inspiration, I think the attention he's trying to get, this is some speculation here, this is of course Kanye. You can see, Kanye's video here.
Yeah, that's 100% what he was doing. I haven't even seen the video. I've just heard clips of the song, and I immediately knew what he was trying to do.
I'll play like a couple seconds of it.
Oh man, I'm so glad he cut it out for me. I don't want that shit playing. As copyrighted material.
I think that he was trying to get attention from Senpai Kanye. I think he's trying to draw that inspiration from Kanye and maybe get Ye's attention, maybe get Ye's sympathy on this and try to get Ye into this. I am highly doubting that Kanye West gives a hoot about Johnny Somali, or that he's going to get the attention that he thinks. In fact, it's just going to be us, I think, on this channel liking this video if you like us exposing and making fun of him.
Dude, it is so much fun to make fun of him because he's so dumb. Like, he's 100% trying to get Kanye West's attention. Oh, I'm sorry. Yay.
And tell what he really looks like. I mean, most of the time, I think Hank looks like a worm from MIB. But I mean, that's my personal opinion. I mean, what do you guys think? Does Johnny looks like the worm from
Hey, I got ya, blucha!
MIB, based on his kind of body physiology. But that's what I think. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's hilarious that we expose that he didn't show up to court like this. It's him alone on the roof. It's a complete fail. All of his attempts, like his legal attempts and like Hank's attempt to be his lawyer, it continues to fail for Johnny Somali as things get worse for him in South Korea. Until next time, guys.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Yeah, so many crazy things, man. Johnny Somali is not going to be having a good time. Oh, I'm going to have another update real quick on this. And it's probably going to get worse. I can't wait. I'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good one, man. Buy a t-shirt down in the description. I'm out.